Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So you guessed it by the title and the fact that I'm sitting here in a vest, we're talking about tattoos. It's a subject I've been meaning to talk about for a while and I'm asked questions all the time. Aaron, you work in finance, you work with investors, but you have a neck and hand tattoos. How on earth does that work? Or people will ask me about getting a tattoo, where to place it, will they lose opportunity or business? Well, if you're thinking about getting a tattoo or you have tattoos already, do not go anywhere. Let's get into it. And just to say, I'm not going to finish the video off in my vest. It's absolutely freezing. So let's jump straight into it. So let me kick this off by sharing with you my experiences from someone who has hand tattoos and a neck tattoo working in finance. Now I can pretty much guarantee if you were to line me up with 50 other men and women in the same industry, not many of them will have tattoos. And also I would stick out like a sore thumb. That's the God's honest truth. But here's the key thing. Has that stopped me from having the same opportunity as them? No, and why? Because I made the conscious effort to upgrade my education, upgrade my knowledge so that I can be in the same rooms as them and hold the same conversations and go on to work with the same clients that they do. And to be honest with you, I work with some really high caliber investors, family offices, funds, and so forth. And that's all because I made the effort to upgrade my education and knowledge and the way that I talk. And then my tattoos get overlooked. But look, I still get judged in the sense that if I go to meet more of an old school investor and I go to shake their hand, of course, the first thing they do, they look at my hand, they look at my neck tattoo, they seem a bit weary. I've had all of that. I've even been judged. I've had deals that they haven't gone through and I felt that perhaps it was on the way that I looked. That happens. It's never going to change, but it's on a smaller scale now. If it was 10, 15 years ago, it probably happened to me all the time. Because look, when we look at tattoos, I think the first thought that comes into people's head is violence, dodgy, perhaps aggressive, bad past. All these kind of thoughts come into the head of perhaps an old school person who's in finance or in another industry. That's kind of just the image. We're never going to change that. But for us that have a lot of tattoos, we know that it's art. You know, as long as they're not poor quality tattoos, there should be no reason why you shouldn't go and get one. And a question I get asked is, where should I place my tattoo? Well, this is something we do need to think about because look, would I change my neck tattoo? No, I wouldn't have changed it because I try not to live with any regret. So I wouldn't actually change any of my tattoos. If I need to cover it up, to be honest with you, if I'm meeting more of an old school investor or a client or I'm doing a new business deal or something like that, and I think that perhaps just on the first meet I should cover it up. And look, I'm proud of all my tattoos and I don't think I should hide any of them. But if I do want to do a business deal and I think it will just help me on the first meet, I'll wear a I'll wear a turtleneck just to cover it up. I can't cover up my hand tattoos, so they're there, but that's kind of an introduction really. They see my hand tattoos, I'll get a feel, they'll get a feel for me and they'll work, you know, we'll work each other out and then we'll go from there. And perhaps on the second meet, I might wear a shirt where my neck tattoo shows. So you have to take this into consideration if you do get tattoos, especially if you want to go into business. You can't have the thought of, well, F everyone else, this is the way that I am. You can be like that, but you will lose business. Again, more so for the old school people and some of those you really want to do business with, but it is more accepted in today's society, so you haven't got to worry about it so much. Now, placement of tattoos. Should you get it on your neck? Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with getting it on your neck as long as it's not offensive. I think face tattoos are a little bit too far. I personally wouldn't get a face tattoo because I think that closes off a lot of opportunity. It is what it is, you know, you can't really get around a face tattoo. It can be seen as a little bit aggressive. You know, when I see someone with, I mean, look, I'm covered in tattoos, but when I see someone with a face tattoo, it's a little bit dodgy and you can't help, look, I'm covered in tattoos and even I make that judgment. So you really do have to think about placement. There's nothing wrong with having neck and hand tattoos, but depending on the line of work that you want to go into, yes, you do have to think about it. That's just fact. Now, employees sort of interview process, what should you do? Because some people will go, well, I just want to reveal or I don't care what other people think. Well, that really comes down to the job that you're going for. If you're going to work at Harley Davidson, then perhaps you don't need to cover up. You could wear a short sleeve t-shirt, you know, and what I'll do is actually, I'll put up a clip at some point during this video. I saw Rob Moore talking about it and he mentioned about that if you're selling investments, maybe you shouldn't have tattoos or maybe it's going to be a bit trickier. Well, actually, I deal in investments and actually I find it fine because I counter it with my knowledge, education and the way that I speak. And also now people see who I work with. So when they see me working with high caliber individuals, high profile people, then it outweighs the way that I look with my tattoos. And not only that, I dress smart, clean up well, and that's an important part. You know, you can have tattoos, but if you don't dress up well, it kind of emphasizes and makes the tattoo a little bit bigger and perhaps maybe more in a negative light, if you see what I mean. So as long as you dress up well, you clean up nice, a tattoo can actually kind of blend in very well.
if you sell £200,000 investments, or if you sell Harley Davidsons, I think that does make a big difference.
But Rob Moore was basically saying, you know, that if you work in investments and you deal with money, it's going to be a little bit harder. I actually disagree. And what I'll do throughout this video, I'll just pop up some snippets of statistics of tattoos, the employer's workplace and what it's like, and the percentages of people being accepted and it being okay, and judgment and discrimination. That still goes on, that will never change. And also the quality of tattoos is a big part, because look, the more you pay for a tattoo normally results in a better tattoo that you will get from a really good artist. But when people have come up to me in the past and said, look, Aaron, I've only paid £70 for this tattoo, and then I have a look at it, it doesn't look that great, it's because the artist wasn't that great, hence that's why you didn't pay that much. So the more you pay, the better the artwork, and then it will be more accepted. It's not so in your face as bad tattoo opposed to a really nice art piece on your arm, chest, neck, wherever you have it. Also, my recommendation basically for anyone going for any type of job role is to educate yourself on that job role, learn if they like tattoos or if they don't, or if it's a common thing, if it's not, because working in the bank and working for a heavy metal band is going to be two different expectations. So before you get a tattoo, think about that placement of it. You know, if you're thinking about getting one on your neck, look, I got mine on my neck well before I worked in finance, so it already happened and I just needed to adapt, and the way I countered that was from upgrading my knowledge. I had a very good network, so people saw who I was rubbing shoulders with, so I was more accepted in that circle very quickly. If you are going into an industry where you are concerned that you won't get the job, because look, I can tell you now, if you go for that interview and you get declined, you will never know if that was based on your tattoo, because they will just say that there was a better candidate, but yet really they may have made the judgment on your tattoo. You just won't know that. So do think about it. I also do believe in, you know, if that's what you want to get and you want to get a tattoo, absolutely be who you are, get what you want to get. But if there is a job role and a dream job that you want, or you want to do something and a tattoo could hold you back, well, you will need to think about it. That is just society. But it is less and less as we move on and people are having work done, and you know, people are looking different and everything like that, and the world is changing very fast, so it is becoming more acceptable. But for those of you that do want to go for a job role where you may be judged, then you will have to think about it. So that's my take on, from someone who has a lot of tattoos myself. I don't really have any problems because I upgraded my education and my knowledge, and the people that I surround myself with now, I'm accepted, and you just need to do the same too. But do think about it. If you want to reach out to me, as always, please do contact or leave me a comment below. You can hop onto my website, www.aaronknightley.co.uk, and until the next video, I will see you all very soon.